Chris and choir. I'm Deb Kearns, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living in our beautiful community of Apple Valley. Please stand and join us if you wish in singing our opening song, My Soul is Welcome Here, by Daniel Namad with Chris and our own HDCSL choir. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. Thank you for all of you who are joining online today, as well as those of you in person. We're happy all of you are with us. Now I invite you to please join me in reading the opening community affirmation. It is in your program on the left side and also up on our monitors. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is creative and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. Is there anyone here joining us for the very first time? Okay, well, welcome for everybody who is here. We send out our daily affirmations and updates regarding services and any upcoming events through our texting service. These are some daily text announcements. If you'd like to join the service, please text JOIN to 833-683-2356. The information is also up on the monitors for your convenience. If you no longer are getting our daily messages and you'd like to rejoin, please reach out to Brandy. Raise your hand, Brandy. And she is happy, with a big smile over there, to help you with that process. It's great to be in the loop and to be connected throughout the week. I know personally when I get those, they come right at the exact moment. So I'm grateful I'm part of that. All right, so in your, there's a color insert inside of your program. Announcements for any upcoming events are in your program each week, along with the daily affirmations for you to use. So please take them home and keep them really handy. So our current events that are happening at the center can also be found online and through our social media accounts, Facebook and Instagram. We have our HDCSL monthly calendar found on our website as well. So we have a few announcements to share with you today. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Like a lot. All right. Right after service today, we will be gathering in the community room for fellowship and potluck. That's right out these doors. Just keep walking straight. We have birthday cake too. Woo! Yes. To celebrate our September birthdays. Is there anyone out here, also you online there, who has celebrated is celebrating their birthday in September? If so, please raise your hand. Raise it high so we can see. All right, okay. So, thank you for raising your hand to acknowledge you. So, with that, we'd like to celebrate your special day.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. For those of you in the choir or interested in joining, we will be meeting for practice at 10:30 on Tuesdays, and you're welcome to stay for Tai Chi with Chris, and that starts at 11. Workday with Frank. Frank, raise your hand. Workday with Frank and the crew is set for Saturday, September 10th. Saturday, September 10th at 7:30 in the morning. Please see Frank if you have any questions. Sister Circle. Now we'll be gathering once a month, starting in September. Sister Circle will be meeting on Zoom the 4th Saturday of each month at 11:30 a.m. Please see Brandy or Lori if you'd like the Zoom link to join. Lori, would you raise your hand? Oh, sorry, there you go, right there. Okay. There will be no drum circle or community sound bath this month. We'll be looking forward to October events resuming, so please check the concierge table or reach out to Brandy if you have any questions. Today is the last day to purchase a duck for the duck race. And you can purchase those tickets from Joan outside these doors. In case you didn't know, this is a fundraiser for our center. So the tickets are $10 a piece. $5 goes to our center, and $5 goes to the Department of Victor Valley Community Service. If you have any questions, please see Joan in the garden room after the service. We've had several $1,000 winners. Who's ready for another one?
Yeah.
That's right. Raise them. Manifest them now. Bam. Survey for classes inside your program. That program is a wealth of information inside there. You will find a survey sheet regarding interest and preferences for upcoming HDCSL classes. Please fill it out and turn it into the basket at the concierge table. All right, two more, we got this. Thank you, Joyce, for your lovely flower arrangements that you prepare for us every single month. Joyce, we know you're watching, and boy, you should see all the applause here. So thank you again. They are beautiful. And the energy you put in those flowers, beautiful. Thank you so much. You are a blessing to our community. And finally, everybody take a breath in. Sunday, September 25th. What day, folks?
September 25th.
Thank you. We will have our ice cream social fundraiser. The info and flyers can be found in the concierge table. You can purchase tickets in the bookstore starting today. All right. Every Sunday, we share the vision for our new minister. We ask that you hold this vision with us throughout the week. Printed copies are also available at the concierge table for you to take home as well. Join me in reading these if you choose. Our purpose is unity. Our vision is to be a dynamic teaching center where we learn to experience the Spirit within us and to express our fullest potential in life. Our new minister is comfortable with shared leadership, accessible to our community, has humor, tact, and is kind. Our new minister is intelligent, a fine teacher of science of mind, an inspired speaker, and feeds us spiritually. Our new minister lives the science of mind with integrity and has a consciousness of abundance, is authentic and unbiased. Our new minister is enthusiastic while being emotionally mature, committed, and connected to our community, and is wise in all of their affairs. And now, I welcome our practitioner of the day, Judy Sinclair. Or Frank Sinclair.
Explanations will follow a very long time away from here. Anyway, if you now join me in reading Dr. Ernest Holmes' Promises together. It's on the inside of your program. If you will join me, please. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy, with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul.
I'd like to do a song called The Water is Wide.
Thank you, Chris. That was beautiful. And Lord. Can't get away with anything around here. It is now time for our ceremony, lighting flames of faith. I am joined by Brandy. We perform this ceremony each week to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And so it is. If you will join me now in prayer, we look inward at this time to that place of holy of holies within ourselves where we commune with Spirit. Spirit is love, joy, peace, health, humor, vitality. We choose to unify ourselves in body and in mind with these principles and ideals. Our lives are of service in the cause of expressing the divine principles in our daily lives. Sometimes we live to work, sometimes we work to live. But always, our labors of our hands or hearts, the body of our affairs, reflect the self-elected realization that our service is to be a light in the world, expressing the highest ideals of divine spiritual practice. We are lights in the world. We bring peace, love, joy, and humor into the presence of our own lives, the body of our affairs, and are a blessing to all around us. I see myself illumined with this divine charge. I am energized and I am overflowing with peace, love, and joy. I shine and am a blessing to myself and the overflow to all those I meet. For this understanding and teaching, I am grateful to be a personal emissary of the divine. And so it is, so we are. Amen.
Thank you, Frank. We'd like the choir to join us right now for our first special song of the day.
Sing my love over the mountain. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountain. I send my over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountain. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. And it returns to me.
Thank you so much, Chris and the choir. That was wonderful. I just love that song. So, thank you again. Thank you. And now, I'd like to share with you some information. Reverend Nichole earned her Master's of Spiritual Psychology with an emphasis in consciousness, health, and healing from the University of Santa Monica. Shortly after, she found a home at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, where she became a staff minister in fall of 2020. Nichole continues to expand her spirituality, having completed the Sacred Art of Living and Dying program, as well as Anamakara, my apologies, apprentice program in Bend, Oregon. She volunteers for the Freedom to Choose project which runs workshops for incarcerated individuals, assisting them with self-forgiveness, positive communication skills, and releasing judgment. Reverend Nichole is inspired to enjoy the preciousness of life based on her extensive personal experience with life and the tragic aftermath of suicide. Nichole participates on the board of directors as the secretary of CSL Granada Hills. On September 12th, she is starting a history class on Zoom titled From Whence We Came, and she welcomes anyone who is interested in join her. Connect with Rev Nikki if you have any questions or are interested. She also runs a very successful tennis academy and enjoys working and learning new things in her free time. Reverend Nikki has been with us several times, and we are so pleased to have her back. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Nichole Robinson.
Good morning, Apple Valley. Good morning. I am so happy to be here today. I actually didn't use Waze to get here. I checked Waze to see about the traffic, but then I just kind of knew how to get here. So thank you for having me come back so often. I really enjoyed your beautiful sanctuary, and it's always such a pleasure to be here. So thank you. So happy Labor Day weekend. Are we all going to enjoy this weekend? Hopefully it won't be as hot. I was actually surprised. It was hotter at my house than it was here, and I was expecting the reverse. So when I got here, I was like, wow, it's 5 degrees cooler. I love learning about holidays and where they came from, and so I took some notes. The first unofficial Labor Day occurred 140 years ago in New York on Tuesday, September 5th, so tomorrow will be the anniversary, in 1882, when approximately 20,000 workers took unpaid time off to march from City Hall to Union Station in support of working class Americans. And I feel most of us are working class Americans. The impromptu parade of skilled tradespeople sparked an interest in a working man's holiday that radiated across the nation. February 21st, 1887, Oregon was the first state to authorize Labor Day, followed by Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York. It wasn't until 1894 that 31 other states had adopted the holiday before the federal government made it an official holiday. But many people were working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. There was no minimum wage, there was no child labor law, and it wasn't until another 44 years, in 1938, that the Fair Labor Standards Act set a minimum wage and shorter work weeks to limit the child labor laws. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. My dad was born in 1936, so that was just basically, 84 years ago that we finally had this law that said, hey, guess what? You don't have to work so hard. And that's what I really want to focus on today. CSL, they have their annual topics, which is living everyday wonder. So throughout this year, we have looked at creativity, emotions, relationships, and finding everyday wonder in that. Some of us might be retired and go, well, I don't work anymore. My work is putting my feet up and gardening in the outside. Some people are like, oh, I am working, supporting my church. I am supporting this nonprofit. That's my work. I used to say, well, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't have an addiction. But yes, I have an addiction. It's addiction to work. And I really wish someone had told my 13-year-old self when I got my first paycheck. How many of you have heard the expression, I work hard for my money? Have any of you ever said that? Yeah, I work hard for my money. And let me tell you, from the time I was 13, I worked hard for my money. How many of you heard money doesn't grow on trees? Yeah. I remember my dad said to me one time, "What do you think, I'm made of money?" And these are things around work. I wish my younger self would know that my work didn't tell me who I was. My success in work didn't define my value as a human being. That I laugh because one of my Instagrams is Tennis Nikki. And so for 34 years, I've coached tennis. It's been my passion. I just love tennis. My email is Tennis Nikki. So I remember I moved locations from my job, and I was lying on my couch because my whole program kind of imploded. And I didn't know who I was. I was Tennis Nikki. I ran one of the top tennis programs in the San Fernando Valley. Everyone knew who I was. But when I changed locations, my business imploded, and I would say I went through a dark night of the soul when I realized it doesn't matter about my business. I am this valuable human being regardless of my accomplishments. Wow. I am a valuable human being regardless of my accomplishments, my successes through work. Did any of you watch the US Open yesterday? Yeah, I've been watching it. Well, you know, I was watching it. Has anyone not heard of Serena Williams? Ooh. Yeah. Right? Well, she just announced her retirement, and she played her last match in front of 60,000 people who were really willing her to keep going. But this younger tennis player, does anyone have it recorded and they don't want to know the results? A younger tennis player prevailed. Anya, she was spectacular. Venus took her 6 match points for the girl to beat Serena. Serena is such a passionate fighter. And I was sitting here as I saw her shot hit the net going, wow, she's done. I've known Serena since she was 8. Her sister used to play in my tournament. So I've known her for a really long time, and she's turning 41, I think, in September 26th. So this is a woman who's basically spent 32 years of her life as a tennis player. Now, luckily she married an amazing man and has a daughter, and I hear she wants other kids. But have you ever been in that position where your life has been only one thing for so long? You know, it's crazy to think how, I know for me, I just really wish someone told me that my work also wasn't my income, wasn't my source of my supply. Because part of that working hard, I worked so hard because I had no one to pay for me. I don't have a husband. My dad, when he passed away, left me 6 cacti. They're beautiful, but they're not going to pay the mortgage. So I knew that I wasn't going to get any sort of inheritance. So I've been working so hard to support myself. A single female owning a house in Los Angeles County. You know, that's a big ticket to pay off. But I was sitting here working so hard. And then one day I realized when I was on the couch, not making money, crying because my business imploded, my bills were still being paid. My friends still loved me. Everything was okay. It had nothing to do with my job as Tennis Nikki. I myself am a very valuable human being. And we talk about Walter Starkey saying we're spiritual beings in a spiritual universe, so we can literally create a universe. That's who we are. We don't have to we don't have to be so wrapped up in our work. I have a great quote here from Wayne Dyer, if I can find it in my notes. Apparently I don't have a great quote from Wayne Dyer in my notes. That's very crazy. Basically, he was saying exactly what I just said, that we are spiritual beings, and we're not our jobs, our spouses, our successes, our works, our homes, anything. We are divine beings having this spiritual experience. So how can we go into work and look at our work, whether we're retired or whether we're currently working? How can we go in that and be creative? How can we go in there with a sense of awe, with a sense of enjoyment? Many of us spend a lot of time working. And for me, the biggest thing for me was the financial thing. I worked so hard for my money. And when I was, I think I was a sophomore in college, my friend's dad was filming a movie in Japan. And she invited me to go and spend summer with her in Japan. What did I do? I said, no, I have to work. And I look back at my 19, 20-year-old self and go, wow. You know, what a crazy, like that was so ingrained in me that I had to work. Now, that same friend is, she just flew in from Maryland a couple days ago, and her dad and her family are renting a cabin in Idlewild for this week. Guess what I'm doing this week? I'm going to go spend time with my best friend and her dad in Idlewild because I know that my work isn't my source of my supply. It's taken me a while to learn this. I almost didn't go to ministerial school because ministerial school was on Saturday, and Saturday was my biggest work day. And I had to pay for ministerial school and not get the income from my work, a double whammy, and it wasn't just one Saturday, it was like 3 Saturdays in a row. What if my clients wouldn't stay with me? How am I going to afford my mortgage on my house? Well, we all know what I did. Because Dr. Moira, does anyone know Dr. Moira Fox over Redondo Beach? I was at a practitioner meeting there, and I said, well, I'm thinking about going to ministerial school. And she said with her Irish accent, well, why don't you tell the universe that you're going to go to ministerial school and become a minister? And I kind of said, oh, okay, I'm going to become a minister. And you know, she just was smiling because once we put something out into the universe, it doesn't matter what our perceived things are that are going to stop us, our misidentifications, our limiting beliefs. We're going to become that because the universe is going to give us the finances, the opportunities. We're going to meet the people at exactly the right time that are going to shift us into that mode. So these are like things in my life that I want to go tell my 20-year-old self, hey, Nikki, it's okay. I mean, you're going to be a minister one day. My 20-year-old self would be like, no, I didn't even know I was going to be a minister when I went to ministerial school. I was just taking classes because it was a lot of fun. So my brother has run a very successful tech business. I don't know what he does. It's all technology, and I just nod and call him, my computer's not working, please fix it. And it gets fixed. For 15 years, he and his business partner have run this great business, and his business partner wasn't really happy. There was just that inside urge to go and do something else, but he and my brother were best friends, and he didn't want to let my brother down. They kind of talked about selling it, and before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and it was on hold, and so they kept working. But my brother's business partner, he really had an urge to do something different. So they finally found someone to buy it, and as of August 31st, my brother is no longer a boss. They sold the company. My brother now works for the company as an employee. And I found this wonderful Robert Frost quote. By working faithfully 8 hours a day, you may eventually get to be the boss and work 12 hours a day. So I was teasing my brother. I go, hey, now you get to work 8 hours a day instead of 12 hours a day? And we were just laughing about that. So I'm curious to see how that unfolds for my brother. Because as the boss, I was answering texts this morning about the business I run. And I'm just really curious to see, I'm kind of in that weird phase, and I'm really putting these principles and practices, trusting them, because I know I've told you this before about my workplace and such, that I'm really looking to see using these principles and how I can let that 20-year-old know that finances and everything's going to be fine, and just really explore the new creativity. There's this book by who was co-written by our noble CSL leader, Reverend Dr. Edward Villion. It is called Seeing Good at Work, 52 weekly steps to transforming your workplace experience. Now, for those of you who are retired, this is also a great book, for everyone, for transforming our everyday life. He has some really, really wonderful topics in this book that I want to explore today a bit. Number one, avoiding assumptions. Avoiding assumptions. We know the 4 agreements. Never take anything personally. My friend deleted a text they sent to me the other day, and I was like, oh, I wonder what he said. But I'm assuming it was probably something not very nice. But it could have been just, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. I don't know. So, avoiding assumptions, a good one. Listening for good. Are we a good listener, or are we answering the question before they even finish it? Are we thinking that we're going to tell them, oh, I know what they're going to, I know the answer, and I'm going to tell you what your answer is, but you haven't even finished talking. We're all laughing because we know we've done this, right? Let someone talk, take a breath, pause, and then move forward. Accepting and releasing your mistakes. That's hard for me. I don't like failure. I don't like to make a mistake. Does anyone like to make a mistake? No. Are you a blessing or curse? Your attitude is independent of circumstances. It comes from your own self-talk. Michael Bernard Beckwith. So when you're in a group, are you just in a bad mood and you're just kind of bringing the energy down, or someone says something to you and you kind of snarky react? So even at the workplace, are we a blessing or a curse? Being grateful. He has that in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. A grateful mind is a great mind which eventually attracts itself great things. So when we're grateful, and part of when we're tithing, we're gratefully, if we tithe in gratitude versus, I can't believe I have to give this to the church, it multiplies. So we're laughing about that one. So living in gratitude, gratitude journals, the sunset, first cup of coffee in the day, last glass of wine in the evening, a great Netflix show, your best friend sitting next to you, a phone call, a letter from a loved one. Relaxation and centering. I'm going to teach you a really short breathing exercise. It's called box breathing. We breathe in for 4 seconds, we hold for 4 seconds, we release for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. Let's try this. Let's breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. And so forth. That's a really great breathing exercise to calm our nervous system. So if someone says something to us and we have a knee-jerk reaction and we want to say something back, or maybe someone cut us off in traffic, that's a really good exercise. So we can just kind of calm our nervous system. Like attracts like. What do you want to attract? Mental equivalent. We visualize what we want to see, we be what we want to see, and sure enough, it shows up. Like attracts like. Have we had that experience? Oh yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but there's many out there. Oh, here's my favorite one. Living with difficult people. That's part 1 and part 2. That gets a 2-parter. In conjunction with that, this is, I'm gonna be vulnerable and tell you a little bit about myself. Being compassionate versus being a doormat. In the quest to be more compassionate, you run the risk of confusing kindness with letting other people do what they want, even when it has a negative impact on you. More dangerously still is the act of hiding your frustration and opinions behind a mask of, I'm a loving and compassionate person. Nothing can get to me. That is one of my things I've been working on. I'm so nice. Why are they so difficult? Look at me. I'm so nice. I learned a very healthy phrase the other day. Healthy aggression. Healthy aggression. I have spent my life not wanting to upset the table, wanting to be nice, wanting to be kind. And the other day at work, they wanted to charge me an insane amount of money. It was 105 degrees out, and I didn't work. And I used my big girl words with healthy aggression and said, no, I'm not paying this amount of money today. There is a national weather heat warning. No one came to class today, and I'm not paying for the courts today. I've never done that before. And guess what they said? They said no. And then guess what I did? What? I said no, I am not paying this money. It is not right. And guess what they said? They said okay. But I never had stood up for myself. Instead, I'd just be angry and like, I can't believe they're doing this, and I would be all frustrated. And it's okay, I'm learning to speak my truth, which goes back to the part of fear of failure, which goes back to the part of I have to work hard to support myself. It all kind of meshes together. Engaging in our creativity, doing something creative at work, maybe going to work a different way one day, reorganizing our desk, doing something different if we're retired, lightening up. Children laugh 100 times a day on average. How many times do adults laugh?
I laugh a lot. So.
I know. Except for Brandy. The average adult laughs 14 times a day versus 100 times. And I was thinking to myself, I go, I don't think I laughed 14 times yesterday. I don't even think there's days that I laugh sometimes. Coping with changes, that's a tough one. We like everything all nice and pretty. And most importantly, listening to your intuitive voice, the little voice inside of us. I always say the biggest changes come in a silent whisper. Oh, maybe I'll be a minister one day. I don't know. I don't think I can stand in front of people and talk. Or maybe I'm going to take a trip to Japan. So listen to those voices. Write them down. Because sometimes the universe will tap you on your shoulder. Hey! And then sometimes we get that cosmic 2x4 that literally flips us off our feet. So what I'm really wishing for all of us today, and I'm speaking to myself especially, is that I want to work to live. I read a quote one day that says, if you don't want to if you don't want to work hard, work enough until where you don't have to work at all. So I want to work so I can live, so I can enjoy my life. And I'm having so much fun with this ministerial stuff. It's just great. Like teaching these classes, I can make a lot more money teaching my tennis classes. But I know I don't have to worry about money because as long as I'm doing what my heart is calling me, I know that the money's going to come. And I don't have to know from where it's going to come. I got an SBA loan during the pandemic that I've been paying back, but I realized that was the moment, that was the first time during the pandemic in, 30 years that I did not work. I didn't answer a phone call. I didn't send out an email for about 6 weeks. I'd never done that since I was 13. And I'm in the universities now. And so it comes from where we don't expect it. And that was just another huge lesson. Thomas Edison said, I never did a day's work in my life. It was all fun. May we have that. Rumi says, everyone is made for some particular work, and the desire for that work has been put in our hearts. So, I want to leave with you today, if we all go inside, and just listening to our hearts, knowing that this one God, this one source, this power, this divine intelligence is guiding our work life, our home life, with peace, serenity, prosperity, creativity. And I know as we step forward throughout our day, throughout our month, throughout our life, that we work with ease and grace and peace and harmony, and most importantly, love. For this and so much more, I say thank you, I am grateful, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you.
I'd like to do a song for you called Shines Through Your Eyes. If you could just see the love that shines through your eyes, inside of you lies the love that shines through your eyes. Your eyes. There's love in your eyes. I think that we are the love that shines through our eyes. Our highest good, it shines through our eyes. Our eyes. There's love in our eyes. So I say thank you for this love in our eyes. There is no doubt that we are divine. I see the love that shines in your eyes. You are the love that shines through your eyes. There is a spirit in me that shines through my eyes. I found a love that shines through my eyes. It's there in your eyes. See it in their eyes. It's here in our eyes. Shines through your eyes.
Chris, and thank you, Reverend Nichole Robbins. Thank you so much. That was a very inspirational message. This is our giving time. Please take a moment to join me in appreciation for this community and our philosophy. We know we live in an abundant universe. There is always more than enough to share and spare. We use this time to open up the flow of abundance and circulate that energy with gratitude. Because we appreciate you and your contributions, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are many ways that you can contribute to our center. You can use the Banco app on your smartphone or tablet. You can visit our website to make a donation, www.hi-desertcsl.org. Scroll all the way down to the donate button, or drop off a donation throughout the week or by mail. Thank you for supporting our center. And thank you to the ushers today for your service. Please join me in reading out aloud our Declaration of Affirmative Giving, located inside of your program on the left side and also on our monitors. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of the spiritual center, knowing that it earns to be multiplied abundantly. I invite our ushers to start at the front of the room with the baskets, please.
I'm so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
As we go into our hearts, knowing that by giving we automatically activate the law of circulation. It's not the amount that we give, it's in the heart and spirit and the gratitude that we give. That's the multiplying factor. Our donations support our center, support our congregation, support our community, support our planet. And for this, I am grateful. Together we say,
And so it is.
Our practitioner, I'd like to invite the practitioners to the stage, please. Our practitioner team is here to serve you. The prayer request is in the garden room under the picture of Dr. Ernest Holmes, and our practitioners' phone numbers are on the back of your program. Please reach out to one of our experienced practitioners for prayer, especially if you're going through a challenging time in your life. They are here to know the truth for you, and they are available after service for spiritual support if you need prayer. Thank you to all of you who have joined us here in person and also online today. We will see you next Sunday, September 11th, with Reverend Michael Kurkura. Have a great weekend, and now I'd like to invite Practitioner Frank St. Clair to read our affirmation for the day.
It's up here on your monitor. If you'll join me, please. I'll say it once through first, and if you join me for two. I am a conduit for the divine in all of my affairs. I am a conduit for the divine in all my affairs. I am a conduit for the divine in all my affairs. And so we are.
So thank you for having me here today. So going inside, knowing that we go forward through our weeks, our months, our days, our years, our life, knowing that God is our source and our supply, taking these practices and principles, knowing that I am a conduit of love, I am a conduit of abundance, I am happy, healthy, and whole. And it's just with a grateful heart I say thank you for having me here at your beautiful center. And together we say,
And so it is.
Actually, we are going to sing Peace on Earth, Let There Be Peace on Earth. And if the choir wants to join, I'm going to start it. You guys come up while you're singing. How about that?